market's down, NASDAQ is down 500 points. Dow Jones is down 865 points. S&P is down 130 points. So meaning we're down on average between 2.5%, 2 to 3%. Everybody's love NVIDIA is about 105. I will go through the charts real quick. And so let's start with the triple Qs. I hope you guys can see this. So here's the triple Qs, daily chart. I'm going to look at daily chart. I have my lines drawn already. These lines I've been talking to you guys about for the last months. This uptrend was drawn already. That broke right about 480. That was the first sign of trouble. Today, remember the bear flags that we talked about. Hopefully you got your technical trading books. And today we're breaking an intermediate term uptrend in NASDAQ. Next support level is going to be right at this low, which is going to be about 443. We're at 447. So we'll probably get a bounce, that can't bounce. If that doesn't hold, the 200-day moving average is coming into play at 430, 431.63. And then if that doesn't hold, I mean, we have the long-term uptrend at 420. So we were at 500 on NASDAQ, triple Qs, NASDAQ 100, which includes all the Magnificent Seven. So 500, 505-ish to 420 would be 80 points. It'll be about 15, 16% pullback, which is fine. We talked about dollar cost averaging last week. You know, that may be a decent entry point. So that's the triple Qs, okay? Let's go through what's happening to interest rates. Remember, I've been showing this chart to you guys for months with the same old lines. TLT is the inverse of the 20-year note. When the chart's going up, that means the rates are going down. Look what's happening to the rates. They're collapsing, right? The reason for that is now the expectation is that if we do go in a recession, which we are, interest rates are going to go lower. Well, that's what's going to happen. They have to start cutting interest rates. And technicals are technicals. I had this channel drawn on this thing for months. It broke out at 91. Now we're at 98. That means rates are going down. I have my resistance lines drawn. You know, this was another downtrend going back, I don't know, years. Actually going back to 2020. That's the downtrend. And I think that's where the interest rates are going to go. They're going to go back to probably 3% again because market needs it. And so what happens is that when the stocks go down, interest rates go down with it, right? Because stocks are going down due to recession fears, and that's what happens. So let's look at a couple of favorites. NVIDIA has a 105.31. It's holding for dear life to its intermediate term uptrend, although there is really decent support right down here at the old high, which is at 97, and good support at, good support at 84.37, okay? So patience, okay? The 3 Ps, please. Patience, position, and planning. If you're on these stocks, you should have sold because it broke the 50-day a while ago. It broke the 20-day way up there at 125. Look how much money you would have saved yourself. 20% headache you would have saved. The intermediate term uptrend is right on it now. I mean, it hit once, bounced off. It's testing it now. God help people who hold NVIDIA. If it breaks that intermediate term uptrend, now then we're going to look at 97. I mean, look, you know, and I talked about insider sales. There has been nothing but insider sales. Amazon, let's look at Amazon. Absolutely in the shit house today. If you guys have your books, and remember, we talk about a pattern called head and shoulder pattern. There is the left shoulder. There is the head. There is the perfect right shoulder with the neckline right at 176. Stock at as low as 160 today. Jeff Bezos has lost a few billion today. I mean, look, it just broke his 200-day moving average. I mean, that's a horrible sign. I would, Amazon is left for dead. I wouldn't touch it with your money. Let's look at Tesla. Pulling back now, obviously, you know, the breakout happened, which you all should have participated because I told you, I gave you guys the trade. There was the uptrend. I mean, the resistance, it broke right through it, went from about 185, 190 to 270 in about a week and a half. You guys should have made decent money. And then, you know, it was due to the catalyst of them coming with their, self-driving cars. Well, we're back to 206. We're back into some sort of support, right on the 200-day average. Am I buying any stocks? Here's my bottom line. No. Am I selling every single rally? Absolutely, until it's proven otherwise. And remember, for 2 years, it was buy every dip. Now it's going to be sell every rally until the market can prove itself otherwise to me. Look at this chart, right? Okay, look at this, right? This is Micron. This is not a small company. Stock topped at 157. Today we're hitting 91. That's 65 points. Okay. So again, my mentors always said it's never too late to sell. Okay. I mean, your rule of thumb should have been when it broke the 50-day average at 130, you should have sold. Period. That was it. That was the first close below the 50-day, which it was hugging on the way up. 130, you should have been out. Now it's broken the 200-day like hot knife through butter. I have no idea where the support is. Support is probably right down here somewhere, about 80 level. It's a broken. These charts, by the way, are all absolutely hammered and broken. It'll take a while for these things to heal. Let's look at AMD, which I had talked about. I'll look at Apple. AMD, garbage, right? Again, hot knife through butter. Stock was 187. Today it's at 132. 50-day average. I mean, 50-day average was broken at 166. Should have been out. That's your stop point. If you don't follow anything, just follow the 50-day exponential moving average. 200-day was broken at 153. It's dead. Left for dead. I have my support lines drawn. So the reason I do these is because once they get there, there may be short-term trading opportunities. That's why I do these. I'm highlighting them now. I mean, there's decent support all the way down on the stock. So it's not going to go straight down, obviously, right? But the trend is down. Remember, I used to say trend is up, trend is up. Well, no, trend is down. Let's look at Apple. Apple is the only green today in the NASDAQ when the NASDAQ down 500. So what does that say? That says it's outperforming, right? These are the types of stocks. Earnings came out yesterday. They were okay. And stock is up 5.5 points, up about 2.5% when the overall market is taking it, right? So you need now the time has come to find outperforming stocks. Will I buy Apple? No. Will I buy any stock? No. Will I short things? Yes. Am I short things? Yes. But let me go to a few individual issues. Maybe my boss will allow me to answer some questions. Let's look at Uber. Let's look at Uber. Okay, Uber. Look at Uber. Right. It broke the 50-day average right here. I'm highlighting at $70 a share. Exactly when Dara Khosrowshahi was selling the stock, by the way. Smart man. Today we hit 57.5, right into my support. In fact, I bought some 2 week out, August 16th. Earnings are next Tuesday. 2 week out, August 16th. $65 calls. I'm even on it. If I start losing money on it, I'm definitely getting the heck out of Dodge. Let's look at VIX. Remember, I talked to you guys about VIX, right? Look at the spike. Do you see what's happened here? So I said to you guys, if you please go watch the older power hours instead of me repeating. So VIX is an inverse indicator of what the market's doing, okay? When VIX is low down to 12, that means market's going up. When VIX is 26, it spiked today from about 18 to 30 almost. But now you guys have to be really, really patient, the first P, okay? What's going to happen is that VIX goes as high as 38, 40, and during the pandemic, it got up to 85, okay? So this is the bigger picture going back to 2020, okay? When VIX is doing this, that means the market's crashing. Now, in the short term, it's about 30 to 35 is where short-term bottoms happen, but then volatility is going to stick around for a while now. So you guys, it's VIX, VIX is the symbol. You guys definitely should pay attention to it. When VIX goes up, market goes down, or vice versa. One of my favorite ones, I told you about this, guys. When stock was $2 a share, Serve Robotics, those little bug-eye robots, stock was 2, hit 24 this week. I don't know. Hopefully, if you guys listened and bought some shares, I mean, even if you had 100 shares, that's a couple of grand. You invest 200, it's 24. Obviously, nobody's going to buy at the low. Nobody's going to sell at the high. But I gave that to you guys like a month ago. I had a decent amount of shares. I actually sold it in the 8s when I quadrupled my money, and then watch it go to 24. but then I'm short now. I'm short a couple thousand shares, and I mean, I'm giving you guys some winners, so please take advantage of it. What else is there to watch? Honestly, not much. I mean, my list is full of stocks that I've watched. Carvana was one. It's getting kind of shot today, but then earnings came out that made a new high yesterday. So what I want you guys to pay attention to is I want you guys to pay attention on stocks that are outperforming. You're going to say, well, what is that? How do I figure that out? Well, on a day like today, for example, Apple is outperforming. It's green on a massively red down day, right? And next week, I will start giving you guys what I subscribe to, what services I subscribe to. They're not expensive, 20, 30 bucks a month. It's definitely worth it. It'll do all the work for you guys. It'll find you the underperforming stocks, outperforming stocks, relatively strong stocks, all these things, okay? So I will give you guys that. I have no affiliation or nothing with it. I pay for the services, and I think it's worth it if you guys are going to do this intelligently and not completely depending on what I'm doing. I don't know, Bitcoin. Oh yeah, this is MicroStrategy, Bitcoin. Look, we talked about this. This is the Bitcoin surrogate. It's going sideways just like Bitcoin is. And I talked about this last week with you guys. Bitcoin is decoupling itself. Bitcoin by now, with all the sell-off we had in the stock market, I would have thought it would have sold off to 50,000. No, it's holding at 62, 64, 65. I think it's great. I think the decoupling is amazing.